A girl named Jessica dreamed very much about a dog. And as soon as she and her boyfriend Jared moved into an apartment where they could keep an animal, she immediately set about fulfilling her dream. Jared offered to get a dog for Jessica's birthday, which will be in November, but where there? The girl has already started to study the websites of various shelters in search of a new pet. And the search was successful. She finally saw the same dog. The dog's name was Benji. He ended up in a shelter in Los Angeles and was very unsociable. Due to allergies and fleas, the dog lost most of its fur. He stayed in the shelter for 10 days, he did not want to let people near him, he growled and tried to bite, and the expression of his muzzle is something. It seems that his whole sad fate was reflected in these dog eyes. He immediately fell into Jessica's heart. She says she has never seen a sadder dog and realized that she simply could not help but pick him up from the shelter. However, the couple lived in Sacramento, which is a 6-hour drive from Los Angeles. But what are these 6 hours compared to the fact that you can find a friend for many years? The staff of the shelter did not believe that Benji would be able to live in a family. When Jared and Jessica arrived at the shelter and said they wanted to take Benji, the staff began to dissuade them. It seems that they themselves did not believe that the dog would be able to socialize. But Jessica was unwavering. She assumed that the dog could be put down if no one took him, and she simply could not allow it to be done. The road home was difficult. 6 hours on the road. Benji was very afraid of the new owners and did not understand what was happening to him. Once at home, he initially kept his distance, but after a few days everything changed. Realizing that he was safe, Benji stopped avoiding people and began to turn into an affectionate, playful dog. Benji loved spending time with his new family, walking, going to restaurants with them, driving in the car. As soon as the dog gets into the car, he begins to bark fervently, anticipating the trip. He likes to lick the faces of his human parents and enjoys playing with his toys. He spent 3 weeks in his new family, but he is no longer recognizable. That's what human love and care do. And here's another story. Chirako National Park is a favorite vacation spot for tourists who visit Taiwan. Locals have built a guest house here in order to earn money. It was thanks to this woman who was in this hotel that a positive outcome occurred. One day, while walking in the park, she discovered a homemade stove built from an old iron barrel. In her place was a dog. The animal scared the woman. The dog was missing one paw, and the second was bleeding heavily. As a result, it turned out that the unfortunate dog got into one of the many traps installed throughout Taiwan. The woman was friendly and calm with the dog. He's barely a year old, and he's already been through so much. In this area, one of the locals, a man named Sean, is engaged in animal rescue. At the hotel, the guest was recommended to seek help from the owner of the hotel by sending him a message and a photo of the dog. After learning about her discovery, Sean did not hesitate to come to the rescue. At the time of clarifying the route to the guest house, the young man realized that there was no direct way to this place and he would have to go through impassable mountains. There was no time to look for workarounds, as the animal's life was under threat. His friend Rose helped Sean find a hotel and get to the hotel, because he was well versed in these places. No one has ever passed such a difficult path through the mountains before. When the guys arrived at the scene, it turned out that the dog that had been injured because of the trap had disappeared. He didn't have to look for her for a long time. He was hiding under a bunch of old chairs and tables. The dog came up to Sean when he called her to him. The young men bandaged the dog's wounds, wrapped him up and put him in a large backpack to take him to the clinic. The victim was named Sandy. The dog didn't make a sound on the way. Sean and Rouse took turns carrying Sandy's backpack, and it was as if he knew he was being rescued. The guys brought Sandy to the vet. The doctors amputated his leg and informed him that in the future he would be able to install a small prosthesis. A certain group of people worried about Sandy's life, who contacted his rescuers and expressed a desire to shelter the dog. After the dog recovered, he immediately went to the house to the new owners. Thanks to the sympathetic people, Sandy will now have a long, happy life. And here's another story. The weak dog wanted to cross to the other side of the road. The unexpected and strong impact of the car overturned her to the side of the road and pinned her down. The dog was no longer able to get up on his own. The poor dog was running along the road and floundering in the mud. He tried to get on feet, it didn't work. After that, he immediately fell on his side. There was only one thing he could do, look around piteously, waiting for help. Employees of the animal shelter, Kind Heart, in Perm witnessed this terrible scene. The animal was taken to a veterinary clinic. He was examined by doctors. A four-legged patient was found to have a large stroke and a concussion. The dog is already aged and it is domestic. Yes, and slender in moderation, and well-groomed, and people are drawn to her. What exactly were the circumstances that forced him to enter a busy highway? It is still unknown. The new boy at the shelter was very nervous. And he didn't eat anything. Volunteers found him overexposure. As soon as the runaway was at home, it became clear, he is a very kind and affectionate dog. The staff from the shelter didn't find her owners. After some time, the dog was sent to another overexposure, to a girl named Daria. After walking with him, the girl noticed that the dog stubbornly pulls its leash in the same direction. And Daria decided to go to meet her new ward. The dog brought his guardian to a high-rise building. Sat down next to a certain entrance, and waited. Surprisingly, at this time the dog was seen from the balcony by its owner. In tears of joy, the woman jumped out into the yard. The dog was jumping and twirling its tail. Then it turned out that the dog is 10 years old and his name is Danny. He always walked on her own, but on that unlucky day that Danny was unlucky, a car hit him. But the hostess tried to find her beloved dog not only on weekends, but also on weekdays. In various places, she interviewed passers-by, hoping to find out if her Danny had been seen. This story has a happy ending. But such endings happen, alas, not always. I want to remind all pet owners that the best way to protect a friend from trouble is to walk him on a leash. In addition, it is worth attaching dog tags with dog names and phone numbers of the owners to the collar. This simple and mandatory action will help you not to lose a four-legged friend forever. If you liked the story, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like it, and share it with friends and family.